Hey guys, Joonas here, the founder of Edge Alerter. So it's day 3 of the 7-day accelerator, and today I'm going to go through how to optimize these first deposit bonuses. On day 1, I went through how it's good to have accounts with a number of key bookmakers. So since then, many of them will have likely offered you some first deposit bonus. So I'm going to go through how to best take advantage of those. Secondly, I'm going to talk about promo account sustainability and how that's important, especially in the early days when you've opened up new accounts. And then finally, I want to talk about how the bookies assess and profile new accounts. So when I worked at Bet365, there's a big department that works specifically on this, and essentially they're trying to work out through any means possible whether you're likely to be a long-term winner or loser. And they use some pretty smart tactics for this, whether it's trying to link you up to existing accounts, looking at IP address links, address links. There are all sorts of interesting things that they look at, but ultimately there's a way to make yourself look fairly dumb and like you're just going to be a long-term loser through some fairly simple principles. So I'm going to go through those, and that's really critical and it loops back into point number 2 there of being long-term sustainable. So these first deposit bonuses, so this is pretty standard looking first deposit bonus. So about 3 years ago, there's some legislation came in Australia that stopped allowing the bookies from offering these first deposit match offers to non-customers. So that made it impossible for them to advertise these sorts of deposit bonuses on TV and other mediums. However, they're still allowed to offer these to existing customers. So the way you take advantage of this, open an account, don't deposit cash, just wait a bit and you'll start getting thrown these at you. So it's very, very simple there. Essentially, if you open an account and don't deposit straight away, the bookies get a bit nervous. They've lost you. So that's why they'll throw this sort of stuff at you. So then once you've done that, really just choose what suits you best. 1-to-1 matches are very common. Some are 50, some are 100, some are 200, some are even 500. Just choose what's best for you. Then it's really just a question of this around how do you want to convert them into cash. So there's a guaranteed method, and that involves Betfair. It involves or it could involve just backing other teams or runners around your bonus bet tip or bet. And then there's a second method which does take on a little bit more risk. Long term, it's not got any risk, but short term it does. These details, I don't have time to go through these now, but in the members resources section, there's a lot of information about bonus bet conversion. So have a look in there. If you can't find the answers in there, just send me a message on Telegram. So promo account sustainability. So this is very critical. It's a very common trap that people fall into. So essentially, the goal should be, for most members at least, to increase the lifetime value of your account. So by that, literally just mean the lifetime profitability of an account. So as I said, the key mistake people make, they hit things too hard too early. They try and make thousands in the first week or two. The problem is the bookies don't like that, and they'll cut you from promos very early on. If you're smarter about it, you'll be able to just follow a few simple principles, which I'll go through in a sec. You'll be able to sort of milk these accounts for months and months and months and make thousands and tens of thousands per account. So really set up a new account. The first 30 bets in the first couple of weeks, that's really the most critical time of an account. So once you're ready to have your first bet, don't just belt the promo straight away. Have some non-promo bets. Just keep an eye on your first 30 bets in your first 2 weeks. You don't have to take any risk with the non-promo bets. The simplest thing you can do is just back both sides with 2 different bookies. So maybe take the $1.90 line minus 5.5 with bookie A over there, and then take the $1.90 line plus 5.5 with bookie B over there. You're essentially just paying 5% margin out, making a little donation to the bookies. But as far as adding value and putting you in that right profiled basket early, it's very valuable long term. So that's kind of critical to know. So once you've got a warmed up account, after a few weeks, you've had your first 30 bets, you've had some promo bets, some non-promo bets, you might be break even at that stage, who knows. But then once you've got a warmed up account, then you can really ramp things up a bit more. I suggest not betting max stakes, because that does come up on the radar of bookies. If you're betting max every time, it's just not something you need to do. So if the max bet limit is $50, just have 40 or 45. If you want to go higher, just use other bookmakers, get new accounts set up. There's more information in the members resources section around scaling and promo account sustainability. So look in there for more detail on this. And then the third point I'd make here, and this is also a very common trap, and this is the way I look at promos. I look at them in two buckets. One is scalable promos, and the second is not scalable promos. So scalable promos, I deem the same game multi-promos that are very popular at the moment, and the racing promos, which are kind of our bread and butter. So the bookies just let you smash them for months and months and months without really caring. And there are two reasons for that. One, it actually takes a bit of skill to find anywhere near fair value with same game multis, and in racing, it does take skill. And secondly, the bonus bets that they're paying you back, most bettors in Australia are terrible at converting them into cash. In fact, 25% is the average conversion into cash by an Australian bettor. So our system converts at greater than 90%. So those two reasons make these very scalable promos. And by scalable, I mean you can hit them hard for a long time, make a lot of money, and the bookies just let you on, think you're on a bit of a lucky streak, and that's it. The non-scalable ones are these early payouts. You might have seen these around lead at halftime or lead at halftime by 4 or more, get paid out early. Odds boosts, a horse running first or second, you get paid out as a winner. These are unscalable. Stay away from them. Don't even touch them. It's tempting, but just be disciplined, and the lifetime value of your account will go up if you just stay away from them. So that's it for today. Just previewing day 4. I'm going to go through stake sizing and how that's important. For some, it's a bit of a boring topic, but you just got to realize that stake sizing is the number one mistake that bettors make. And frankly, if you're not stake sizing correctly or anywhere near correctly, then you're just a ticking time bomb. And I'll go through the maths behind that, the high level maths anyway, and some simple method that you can use just to stay on top of that. For those mathematically inclined, you can look at things like Kelly criterion and how that's applied. But this concept of stake sizing is important, not just in betting, but in finance in general and in many other fields as well. And then I'm also going to go through how other tipping services work. I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to go through sort of how they make money, or many of them make money for themselves. There are some sneaky things that they do. One of the biggest surprises to many is that a lot of these tipping services out there are actually incentivized to make you lose. So we'll go through how that works on day 4. And yeah, a lot of them are just not very transparent. Frankly, there's just 99% of the services out there are just shit. But I'll break it down into why they're shit. I won't name names again, but there'll be some interesting things to learn out of that. And this isn't just specific to the betting industry, but the finance industry as well. There are some very common parallels here, and a lot of people get deceived. So I'll go through a lot of the traps to stay away from. Cool. So that's day 3 done, and I will chat to you again on day 4. Cheers.